Hello and welcome to this week's Glasstire Top 5. It is the week of September 26th, 2019. I am Christina Rees.
And I'm Brandon Zech.
And we are counting down the top 5 art events in Texas this week. Where are we?
We're at the Moody Center at Rice University in a show about the moon and about the Apollo missions, but we'll get to that in a second.
Number 5 on our list is a twofer at Texas State Galleries at Texas State University in San Marcos. Neil Farso wrote a review about both of these shows for us recently. One is Tatiana Istomina's show. It's called Philosophy of the Encounter. Neil loved this show, by the way. It's what this artist has done is she's taken text by the French Marxist philosopher Louis Althusser, who murdered his wife, and she's taken some text that he wrote around that event, and she's kind of rewriting the narrative from the murdered wife's point of view. Her name was Helena Reitman, and the show is it's sculptural. There's video. There's a puppet show. Actually, one of the themes of this week's top 5, by the way, is sort of like alternative realities or speculative fiction.
Just like the moon landing.
Well, yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. And the second show is called Real-Time Systems, which is about system aesthetics. But one of the interesting things in that part of this show is a film called East Coast, West Coast by Nancy Holt and Robert Smithson that was shot in 1969. So Real-Time Systems is up through September 29th. You don't have much time to see it. And Philosophy of the Encounter is up through November 12th.
Number 4 this week is a show of works by Austin artist David Culpepper at Colab projects at Springdale General. Colab's kind of temporary space while they do stuff with their land that they just bought. The show's called That's Not Going Anywhere. Dave Culpepper's work, I mean this in the best way, is always very kind of stupid. Intentionally and amazingly so. The best part was we were looking at install shots at the show, and there's a video of 2 art handlers hanging a piece in the show, but it's just this little mini gallery setting. David Culpepper is a very good craftsman. He makes really nice objects. In this show, I think it stems out of his career as a preparator and as an art handler. And his work plays on that a lot, and this show seems very overtly so.
He's definitely playing with scale and the idea of maquettes and models as the inception of artworks.
And then just all the materials of what it means to like touch an artwork, like a pegboard being held up on the wall by like 2 cast fingers.
There's a soft closing for this show at a place called The Front Page on Saturday, September 28th. This is the last weekend to see the show. Number 3 on our list is in El Paso. It's at a venue that I'm not sure we've ever put in the top 5 before, Chamisal National Memorial. There's a gallery there called Franklin G. Smith Gallery. This is a show by Angel Cabrales in this unusual venue.
So the show is called The Uncolonized Vision in the Parallel. So it kind of takes 2 timelines. There's the one timeline of North and South America, of it being colonized, of all of the explorers coming over and decimating the indigenous peoples, and the timeline that we're living now. But then there's the alternative timeline of the explorers never making it over. If they made it over, they taught the indigenous peoples how to quarantine individuals with smallpox.
Right.
And there's this alternative reality that happens that this artist plays out in a really beautiful and interesting and poignant way.
I think he's taking some science fiction tropes and obviously speculative fiction, but what would happen if the Incas and the Aztecs and the Mayans had ejected the colonizers before they even really got started? And it is up through January 16th, so you got a little bit of time to see it. Next on our list is at the SPN Gallery at University of Texas at Dallas, which is in Richardson, by the way. I know that we listed this venue recently in the top 5, but we have to come back to it because of this show, which is a big group show. It's called May You Survive in Interesting Times. It just opened last weekend, and it's a really good list. The color condition is in this show. Stephen Laptisathon is in this show. Ryder Richards looks like he's got a really good installation in this show. Josephine Durkin, Leslie Martinez. I could go on, but it's a good, important group show, and what has happened is instead of using the title for the 58th Venice Biennale exhibition, which was curated this year by Ralph Rugoff, which was titled May You Live in Interesting Times, this is May You Survive in Interesting Times. So it is a timely show as well, and it was curated by Greg Metz, by UTD's Greg Metz.
And number 1, we are here at Rice University's Moody Center for the Arts and their exhibition Moonshot. We're standing in front of a great piece by
Matthew Day Jackson. This is nice. This is a group show. It's commemorating the 50th anniversary of the 69 moon landing. There's some really nice work in here. There's a big suite of lithos by Rauschenberg. There's the famous moon landing prints by Warhol, very
Love those.
MTV. You can hear the MTV theme song in your head as you look at them. Nancy Graves has a nice thing. There's a very cool virtual reality thing.
Yeah, this piece I think is one of the more interesting, one of the better VR pieces that I've seen in a little while. It's actually super responsive and interactive.
It's Laurie Anderson.
It's Laurie Anderson in collaboration with another artist, so you know it's going to be good. This is a really well put together show, and I think in a summer and fall of shows that have been chock-a-block with
50th anniversaries.
50th anniversaries of moon shows. There's photo shows everywhere. There's everything else everywhere. Rauschenberg everywhere, which is the thing that I know we both love. But this is a really thoughtful, well put together show of stellar work.
This is very handsome. This room looks absolutely fantastic. And you could spend a little bit of time here, actually.